Everyone wants to be on camera, right? And even if you don't, then tough, they're everywhere. But with video cameras being so common that nowadays they're even on everyone's phones, everyone wants to be a filmmaker. Hey!
Primarily, I'm two things when it comes to filmmaking. I'm usually, as a business, a filmmaker in general, which means that I devise a project, work with people on getting funding in, so I'm a producer as well, I suppose. But then I create the films, edit the films, mix the films, put them all together.
But before we can get to the filming, it's important to know what you're going to film. First, you need to have a script, which, although needs to be appropriate for your target market so as they'll actually watch it, it also needs to be in accordance with the BBC guidelines. So, no gratuitous sex, no bad language, no drug use, no alcohol or violence or anything like that, just in case a child runs in and actually happens to see any of this stuff.
I would say my favourite is to make the shorts because they're very easy to put together in essence than a feature.
There's a whole bunch of paperwork and preparation that needs to be done beforehand. This is known as pre-production. This includes things like the floor plans, which is showing where the cameras are and the actors' locations move about, and things like the storyboard, which works much like a comic strip in accordance with how the action is going in accordance to the script. Then there's the budgets, the props, the casting, the extras, the wardrobe, the proposals, and of course the marriage kind. Then there's the briefs, not the underwear kind. And there's the recce or reconnaissance for locations I want to use, then permission to use that location. Now let's talk about some of the equipment that we're using. The one that we're actually using here, this is a Sony A1. This is still using the little miniature DV tapes, so it's better for archiving purposes. And other ones that you can use are like this one, the HC9. This is still another digital camcorder one, and still with the HD that we need. But a more common one that is appearing on film sets now is this, the single lens reflex that can shoot digital video, because some people prefer the better lens for it. The external microphone with the little windproof dead ferret thing there, and that's about it. Risk assessment and health and safety can also be important. It's not just more frivolous nonsense to make your boss happy, it's also about making sure things run smoother on the day of the shoot. Because, well, even if you get nothing done, all your cast and crew are still going to have to be paid. And, well, you're going to be asked all sorts of frivolous questions on the day of the shoot.
Where do you want this light, mate?
Milk and 2 sugars, okay?
Was that take okay?
Now, don't expect everything to be done right the first time. And just remember, anyone who appears on camera needs to sign a release form. Now, shooting in public is not always that easy. I mean, this being for the BBC, you need to avoid any focus from advertisers, including big logos on clothing, and as the BBC is not a commercial station, that's why the only ads you see on it are for itself. Here you go, you take that. If the audio you get on location is unusable, then you can always re-record it in the sound area using a process known as ADR, or Automated Dialogue Replacement, dubbing. This is of course using a mic stand, a pop filter and a shock mount, although this process is not of course very easy to do because you have to sync it together in the edit. Now this is the editing process, and aside from the writing part, it's arguably the lengthiest part of the post-production pipe. Now one more thing you should be concerned with is continuity, because let's say if one week you're wearing one type of jacket,
and then another day you're wearing a completely different jacket, and then it confuses people.
And there you go. There's an introduction to filming. All the best.
What? Dude, who was it?
Okay.
We're on it.
Hold on 1 second.
Now don't expect everything to be shot.